Well, we're part of the franchisor. You know, what everybody doesn't know is you just purchased a place as a franchisee.
Right.
And so you are also a proprietor of one of these.
That's right.
You know, you might kind of want to share with, you know, why you would like to be a proprietor. I mean, you do all kind of other things. What is it that kind of makes this fun and unique for you as a proprietor of one of the clubs?
Well, it's I think what draws me to it is what would draw anyone to it, which is it's my place, it's my club. And I'm not here all the time, of course, but it's a place where I can come for an hour or so after work. I can come here on the weekends if I want. It's a place where I can engage my members socially, make sure they're taken care of, make sure they're having the kind of quality experience that I want them to have. For me, though, there's also a very pragmatic reason for it, which is, you know, Tony and I are commercial bankers. We finance commercial property all around the country for business owners and entrepreneurs. That's who we like to deal with. And many years ago, I did something that very few commercial bankers do, which is I actually used our primary loan product because I kind of put my money where my mouth is. And that's one of those things that people actually appreciate that. And I felt like with this concept, I had to do the same thing. And to actually know what the ins and outs, the daily ins and outs for a franchisee would be and what the experience is like for a franchisee.
But it's also good as a passive investor, too.
Oh, no question.
You know, so you don't have to be here full time. People can take it and be a full-time proprietor, or somebody.
Or you can be an absentee owner, which is effectively what I am.
Which is kind of unusual today. I know y'all do a lot of financing of franchises and stuff, and that's unusual.
It is very unusual, and for the same reason, it makes just a great second business for folks, which is why I think many professionals, people with whether they work in corporate America or they're a dentist, a chiropractor, what have you, this is going to be something that they're very attracted to as an additional source of income and a fun thing. I mean, Tony and I have had this experience for years where, and we've all heard about it, the guy gets a little bit of money and he wants to go and open a restaurant. And it's really, if you dig in there, the reason he wants to own the restaurant is because he wants a place to hang out with his buddies. Well, he knows nothing about the restaurant business. That's kind of a complicated business. A lot of health regulations, you know, you got spoilage issues and all that other stuff. And inevitably, you know, he goes belly up in 12 months because he had no clue and he gave away too much free food and he didn't know how to work it. Well, that same urge to do that, I think, would be very appealing for our club concept here, Kennedy's, for somebody to look into that. And the key thing is, you don't have to be a licensed barber to own one of these. In fact, it's probably better if you don't. If you're just kind of the club manager, you're the professional manager of the place, the host. That's what really works well. In fact, every single one of our franchisees right now, as you know, not a single one of them are barbers. Which
you say you can be the host. I think it's interesting that, you know, as we've looked at a lot of franchise concepts, not only in researching this, but, you know, in your financing, and then, as you know, Jack and I actually create franchises from scratch a lot. You know, a lot of franchises, you end up people are excited because they want to go into business for themselves, but they really end up just buying themselves a job. And so what I like so much about this concept is that you can buy a club and you can run it, and it's a great thing to run if you'd like to. And, you know, my wife wouldn't want me at home all day, so I'd run a club. But if you want to grow with it and maybe open some more clubs, it's something you can do as either a passive investor or a passive owner, where you don't have to be there all the time, and it's not just a little better than minimum wage job, which a lot of these franchises are. There's so much money to get involved in. I was just appalled when I looked at some of the restaurants that I thought would have been great numbers because of what I heard they were charging for. You're just buying yourself a okay job with a lot of stress.
And the people that I bought this location from, they're getting ready to open another one. But originally when they came to America and ran this, it was really meant as a quasi-retirement vehicle. You know, they really wanted a place where they could go give themselves a purpose, something to do for 6-7 hours a day, and that's exactly what they did. And they built up a phenomenal membership. It's, you know,
everybody loves them.
Well, you just hit the nail on the head too with the membership. Going back to that, I mean that is the most critical part of this whole thing. I mean that's what makes this whole thing work. You know, and whether you're a passive investor or whether you're a proprietor that's here every day running it, the continuity factor allows you to smooth cash flow throughout the month and not have that constant concern, is somebody walking past my store going to come in and are we going to get that service? Or, you know, I really hope today when I wake up that I'm going to get 50 customers in the door. It's just something that helps.
I would hope I got 50 in a day too. That would be good.
Well, yeah, but maybe you get 50 members now, and you get to charge them for them.
I'll tell you, Tony, when that really hit home for me, one day I was running late. stuck in traffic. I had a haircut appointment, and before, when I used to have to go to my wife's salon, it was a nice place, but not a place I really wanted to tell people I was going. Yeah. And I got stuck in traffic, and I was coming. And before, if I'd cancel a haircut, I felt really bad because the person who just cut my hair, she'd be out money basically. Yeah. But I called one day to Kennedy's to cancel an appointment, and they said, "No problem. Don't worry about it." And it's like, oh yeah, because they're getting paid and I didn't even come. Yep. It's like the best deal ever. So I really got it, what it means to have continuity at that point in a business like this.
Well, and you can go as many times as you want, which is a phenomenal perceived value for everybody.
It's a great perceived value. I think it's really important to talk about. A lot of people get really scared anytime you put out a great guarantee or a great value that someone's going to come in. Everybody's going to come in every day or even once a week. And I don't know the average that someone comes in, but I'm at the highest membership, and I come in twice a month if I can find the time.
Right. Well, and that's because life happens. I mean, we do have a couple people here at this location who are bald as the day is long, and they like to get the straight razor shape, and they come in every other day. Yeah. Well, that's great, but they're also one of the biggest ambassadors of the brand. They talk about it constantly. So you have 1% or so who quote unquote abuse it and are here so often, but candidly, you're giving it away anyway. You want them to do that, and if they do that, they're going to talk about it all the time.